There we were, on a back road in Canada, somewhere between Montreal and Toronto. My friend and I were on a motorcycle tour through Canada, and we just stumbled on a road that was ideal for a stunt that I'd always wanted to do. The road ahead of us was straight, it gently sloped downward, and best of all, there was no traffic. We were in the middle of nowhere. So, as I'm driving on the motorcycle, I lock my throttle into place, I climb up onto the seat, I let go of the handlebars, and stand up. So cool! You've never lived if you've never stood on a motorcycle going 45 miles an hour down the road in the middle of nowhere. I was so caught up in the moment that I failed to notice that just up ahead, the road made a sharp bend to the left. Better get down, I tell myself. So I pull in my arms, I crouch down, and the bike starts to wobble. Oh crap! Nobody told me it was harder to get down than it was to get up. The bend is approaching rapidly. I'm now in that gray area between extreme anxiety and total panic. There's this little voice inside my head saying, "You're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die." I didn't know what else to do. So I crouched down, and I fell onto the bike. It stayed up. Oh, thank God. And I leaned into the curve. That was the first and last time I ever pulled that stunt. Now, years later, I tell this story to my bride. She was not impressed. She said, "Where did you ever get the inspiration to pull a harebrained stunt like that?" I don't know. Good question. I didn't get the answer to that question until we made a family trip to Niagara Falls. Now, when we got to Niagara Falls, I went to the first souvenir shop that I could, just to buy a refrigerator magnet to remember the trip by. And I came across this pamphlet. It was titled, "Daredevils of Niagara Falls." I bought it. I couldn't put it down. This thing was a page turner. Story after story of people going over Niagara Falls in barrels, in boats, and in nothing at all. This was great stuff. Then I got to this section on tightrope walkers, the most famous of which was the Great Blondin. In 1859, the Great Blondin set up a tightrope, not across Niagara Falls, but across Niagara River, just below the falls. But the spot that he chose was just above one of the most dangerous whitewater gorges in North America. So dangerous, it was known for this. Anyone who had the misfortune to fall into it was never seen again. So on a sunny day in 1859, the Great Blondin, with a huge crowd gathered and all the media there, he goes across that tightrope. Then he comes back and he does it again blindfolded. Then he does it again, trundling a wheelbarrow. And then he does it carrying his manager on his back. It contained a newspaper photo of it, and in the caption of the newspaper photo, it gave the name of his manager, Harry Colcord. Oh my gosh! That's my great-granduncle! It all came back to me in a flash. My mother had told me about a distant uncle of hers who had been carried across a tightrope across Niagara Falls on the back of a famous tightrope walker. Now I knew where I had inherited my defective gene from. So I show this picture to my wife. I point to Harry Colcord and I said, "I'm related to him." She says, "Oh, please don't show that to the children. He's a nut job." No, he's not. He's awesome. Now, clearly my wife's thinking is influenced by common sense. And clearly my thinking is influenced by testosterone. Now, I'm going to ask you to make a vote. Do you think that a man who agrees to be carried on the back of another man on a tightrope over one of the most dangerous whitewater gorges in North America, is he a nut job? Is he awesome? Yes, testosterone rules. We might not live long, but we'll have memorable moments along the way. Now, just in case you think I'm making this up, the next time you're Wikipedia, type in Charles Blondin, B-L-O-N-D-I-N, and you'll see the same newspaper photo I did, and you'll see him carrying my great-granduncle on a tightrope across the Niagara River. The end.